showing support for people impacted by Alzheimer's and dementia in our community. In fact, more than 3,000 people in the Boca Raton area came out for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Chief Certified Meteorologist Chris Martinez emceed the event, which was held at Sunset Cove Amphitheater. You see it right here. The walk raised more than $470,000 for care, support, and research initiatives through the Alzheimer's Association of Southeast Florida. And November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, a month that serves as the catalyst to highlight the disease, important prevention, and ways to support those who are impacted by Alzheimer's, or if you know someone who is. Here to tell us more about the important steps to prevent and treat Alzheimer's and some of the new developments with the disease is Dr. Peter Glebas, Director of Cognitive and Behavioral Neurology at the Marcus Neuroscience Institute, part of Baptist Health. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being with us. Raising a lot of money for research, for cures. Why do you think we're seeing such an uptick in support?
Good morning, Erin. Thank you for having me. Yes, there are several factors that influence that. One thing, the main risk factor for developing Alzheimer's disease is age, and we're living longer. So that increases the risk, the possibility of developing, lifelong possibility to develop the disease. We're also better in diagnosing it. People are more aware of it, so they're more inclined to seek evaluations and help for it. And there are also the prevalence of the certain lifestyle factors and chronic conditions that all contribute to the uptick of the disease.
Promising treatment for Alzheimer's, and how can it help people who are living with it?
So the new disease-modifying therapies have demonstrated for the first time that they can alter the progression of the disease by slowing it down to the modest degree. We are hopeful that more therapies, including those targeting different aspects of the disease, will continue to enhance its management in the future.
And are we seeing more people diagnosed at a younger age, or does that just simply go to the fact, as you were saying, we're just more aware of it?
We are seeing more, but again, it's the awareness and the availability of diagnostic methods, and people are seeking. That people are also losing the stigma that was used to be associated with a condition. But also, the lifestyle risk factors and chronic conditions do contribute to the increased risk of the developing the disease, including in the younger people.
Oh, so what can we do right now to limit our chances of having this later on in life?
While the researchers are still looking, whether there is any other intervention that can help, especially for the people who might be having already changes of the Alzheimer's disease but no symptoms. So part of the best things we can do is just summarizes the healthy lifestyle. Reduce sedentary lifestyle, increase physical activity, healthy diet, less processed foods, the staying mentally active, staying socially active, addressing the sleep, the mental conditions and chronic conditions. That all of these things, when they're absent, that reduces the risk of disease.
Do you think in our lifetime, your expert opinion, our lifetime, that we will see treatments, more treatments for this disease, or perhaps even some prevention?
I'm really, optimistic about it, because there is so much research going on in the field, and there's so many new medications and interventions are being tested. So I hope that within the next several years, we're going to see more and more treatments and even preventive measures that will be coming out.
We definitely hope so. Thank you so much, Doctor, for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it. If you'd like more information about this interview or Alzheimer's awareness, what you need to know, their website has a lot of really good resources. You can go to WPBF.com. I've linked them to their website.